Alright, let's dive into something that's been blowing my mind lately: the Perth suburbs where power bills are costing less than a small cup of coffee. Yes, you heard that right, less than a coffee. And no, this isn't some futuristic fantasy, it's happening right now, thanks to a massive shift in how people are using solar energy and home batteries. But here's the thing, this isn't just about saving a few bucks on electricity. It's about a much bigger trend that's reshaping how we think about energy, sustainability, and even community resilience. So, let's break this down. First off, what's driving this? Well, it's a combination of skyrocketing energy costs, government incentives, and a growing awareness of renewable energy. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting is how quickly things are changing. Just a few years ago, solar panels and home batteries felt like a luxury for the eco-conscious elite. Now, they're becoming a practical solution for everyday families, especially in Perth's outer suburbs. Take Armadale, for example. This suburb is leading the charge with over 2,000 battery installations in the past year alone. That's not just a number, it's a movement. One story that really stood out to me was David and Ellen Gibbs, a couple in Bedfordale who foster up to 10 kids at a time. Their power bills used to hit $1,200 to $1,400 per cycle. Insane, right? But after installing a home battery system, they've cut their bills by almost 50%, even with higher energy usage. What this really suggests is that renewable energy isn't just for small households or single-person homes. It's scalable, and it's making a tangible difference for families who need it most. What many people don't realize is that fostering kids, running a household, and managing finances are already stressful. Throw in massive energy bills, and it's a recipe for disaster. So, seeing solutions like this emerge feels like a game changer. Now, let's talk about the government's role in all this. The federal government's Cheaper Home Batteries program has been a huge catalyst, covering up to 50% of the cost for many households. And the WA Residential Battery Scheme? That's adding even more incentives, like a $1,300 rebate for Synergy customers. But here's where it gets fascinating: these programs aren't just about saving money. They're about energy independence. Think about it, when you're generating and storing your own power, you're less reliant on the grid. That's a big deal, especially in a world where energy prices are volatile and climate change is knocking on our door. What's even more intriguing is how this trend is connecting to other aspects of life. Take Linda and Danny Slob, another Armadale couple, who are now charging their hybrid car with their home battery system. Their last power bill? $3.60. Let that sink in. They're not just saving on electricity, they're essentially fueling their car for free. If you take a step back and think about it, this is the future of sustainable living. It's not just about reducing bills, it's about creating a closed-loop system where energy is generated, stored, and used efficiently. But here's a deeper question: why are outer suburbs leading this charge? Christopher Barnes, a senior energy consultant, points out that cost of living pressures are a big factor. Outer suburbs often have larger households and higher energy demands, so the savings are more significant. But I think there's something else at play here. Outer suburbs are often seen as less trendy or less connected than inner-city areas, but this shows they're actually at the forefront of innovation. They're proving that sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a necessity, and it's achievable for everyone. So, where does this leave us? Personally, I think this is just the beginning. The federal government's goal of 2 million battery installations by 2030 feels ambitious, but if Perth's suburbs are anything to go by, it's not out of reach. What this really suggests is that we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we consume energy. It's not just about individual households, it's about communities coming together to create a more sustainable future. And that, in my opinion, is the most exciting part. But here's my closing thought: as we celebrate these successes, let's not forget the bigger picture. Energy independence is great, but it's also about equity. Not everyone can afford the upfront cost of a battery system, even with rebates. So, as we move forward, how do we ensure that these solutions are accessible to everyone, not just those who can afford it? That's the question I'll leave you with. What do you think? Is this the future of energy, or just a passing trend? Let me know in the comments below.